Wagwan graduates, wagwan, wagwan, wagwan. No, sir, festive Friday. How is everybody doing? Yeah. Can you hear that glug, glug, glug sound? Glug, 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 glug. You know what it's like. On a Friday, you must have a tipple. You must have a little bit of something, something to drink. Yes, yes,
Wagwan
yes.
graduates, wagwan, wagwan, wagwan. No, sir, festive Friday.
I don't know why I always do that. Literally always forget to put this damn page on mute. Like, get off. There you go. How is everybody doing, my people, my people? Right, let me see who is on the live, who is present in class. Nice and on time. We like that. We're going to chat up some things tonight, because at first I was just going to go straight into story time because, as I said, from my inbox to you guys, I often get these stories that land in my possession from people who have got extraordinary stories to tell. But of course, the Browns, them are going with themselves from morning, right? So, hello, Canada. I don't know what it is that is in the water over there, but something definitely in the water. We're going to go down in it as well, right? So, big up yourself, Tabby. Tammy, oh, you reach here so fast. Tabby, you reach here fast. See, for you see Nigeria in the caption. The Nigerian prince. Hey, no, sir. Kathy, big up yourself. Vanessa Grant, big up yourself, my member. Linda G. Blessed, good afternoon, wherever in the world you are. Norma, thank you so much, my Rencha. Let me pin that. If I haven't pinned it already, no, I haven't. Let me pin that. Mark yourself on the register, like up the live, right? This so. Gal, so nice. Big up yourself, sis. Dawn, to one and all, welcome, welcome, welcome to HTK class. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Beautiful message. Love it, Dawn. Andreen, big up yourself, my member. Kathy Wallace, big up yourself. But Kathy, how you coming to my class? Oh, okay. Me just a double check. Me say hello to you already. Me I wonder how you coming to class. And a big up Tammy and a big up me. A joke. Ingrid, good afternoon, my lovely. Jeanette Johnson, big up yourself, my member. Sophia Smith, good evening. Annette Brown, good evening. You are early for class. Good. The supper woman have a drink, not coming a backside. Tammy, me no know if we want to know what you have to drink. What you have to drink when you come in a buckle? No, sir. Debbie, you finally get a notice. Excellent. Big up yourself. Janet Newbold, good afternoon or good evening. Monica Hawthorne, good evening. Valerie Douglas, good evening. Sonia Pink, good evening. Monica says it's the first time commenting on my channel. Oh, thank you so much. Don't be a stranger. We like new people around here. So you are more than welcome. Carrie, big up yourself. Too early for rum. Mega take coffee. It's not early over here, so at 8 o'clock at night. So I'm quite happy to have a tipple at this time. You know, Steph B. Ray, make it alive. Bop, bop, bop. Jordan Bullock, good evening. And Brown, hi. Yvette, my member, big up yourself, my fellow queen. Joan Rodriguez, me not good panda spell. Let me see if I pronounce Joan Rodriguez. Fancy name. Phew, I caught a live from the beginning. Absolutely. Valerie Douglas, you're early. Yes. Christine H, big up yourself. Stacy McDonald, hello. June Sundak, good afternoon. Kiki Ram, you catch a live today. Blessings, blessings. It come in a bowl. It's plantain porridge. No, say, I get me drink that, Plantain porridge, banana porridge, them things, the peanut porridge. Nope, nope, nope. Just give me straightforward cornmeal, and on the rare occasion, I will have the oats porridge. Other than that, me not drink no other type. Sonia Wins, good day to you. Big up yourself. Sharon Maskell, big up yourself. Rich Venice, big up yourself. My sister in Valerie Douglas. Miss hello to you already, CB. Okay, all right, all good. We're all are we there now. So we can get started. No, sir. Let me show you my face a little bit. What a punkos pampankas, graduates. What a punkos pampankas are going in a Canada. Every time I think say, all right, another one run out. You know, say, when I got to get involved in the ocean affairs, right? Because hello, no, we can't really rumble like that. But they are very fascinating to watch, so you can't deny it's entertainment. But even though we're being entertained, there are serious things to be learned from that whole scenario. And I genuinely wonder if Omar and Kemar have thought through this entire thing. Of course, for those of you who are unaware of the situation, the Browns are in themselves content creators. They are people who were known to more or less our diaspora as a result of being initially promoted by YMK. Yeah? Okay. There was a whole pasa, they all fell out. We're not going to go into that. That's history. However, it didn't stop YMK from always having a little eye on what was going on over in Canada. Because remember, these were his proteges. And they kind of, broke up on not so nice terms. So I think that there's always this sense of, you guys were not very grateful, despite the fact that I was a key person in your process for applying for asylum in Canada on the basis of homophobia. Okay. Remember, they originally were in Trinidad. So the whole thing was presented to the Canadian embassy on the basis of their sexuality. Only now if a story come to bump. I may have a little sip there. Mighty God, that one is dry. Be nice though. Only for find out, say. One of the parties who is supposed to be en route to marriage with his other party, both of whom are male, has done a 180 on his gender orientation. The man says it is now all about his woman. Allegedly, the female that has gotten involved in their life is with child. So here we had a couple that went seeking asylum on the basis of the fact that they were a straight out gay union. One man roll out and say, listen, me get a vision, and Babs me get a vision. And in this vision, I saw my mother. Mother is deceased, right? And mother said that mother not happy with my lifestyle choices. Mother not happy at all. And it is on that basis that I decided that it is time to get right with God. Tell him, I tell the rest of the homosexual man, them say, them lifestyle not right with God, So on the basis that he want to get right with God, he is now going to make sure that he pursues a heterosexual relationship. Now, this couple has only been in Canada for more or less around 3 years in total. I'm going to share something with you because, like I said, I wonder if this was properly thought through. For one thing, Kamar came online. He did a whole live where he was basically breaking down to the public. I played that, I streamed that the last time, or at least a portion of it, where he was breaking down to the public the fact that they were no longer together, that Kamar has made a choice, that he's going to be the supportive spouse, yada, yada, yada. Okay? And even, well, not spouse, I said spouse, but they were engaged. So he's going to be supportive of his choice. And he even offered to be the godparent of the child that's en route. I have never seen such patience beyond Methuselah, because yours truly could I never do that. A woman come in your house, take away your man, turn him head the other way, turn the other way, breed. And you're willing to be the godfather of that child. You've got a heart of gold, honestly. So, okay, that's the sus part. That's the gossip, right? But now let's get into the serious matters and why it is, as I said, I wonder really and truly if it is that this was properly thought through in terms of the revelation to the public via the internet and the fact that they have only been in this country for 3 years. So we're just going to explore the processes involved when it comes to actually seeking asylum on the basis of sexual orientation, where it is considered to be a threat in your country of origin. We're also going to look at the processes behind what happens once you're in Canada, and also what the processes are in terms of applying for citizenship. Just hold your horses. One bit. But Carrie Sarah, come my baby, turn the other way. Then I tell you, God is not the author of confusion, that I know. Listen, we're not going to go down that route just yet. We soon will, though. We soon will. All right. So, hold on our asses. Let me just get this ready. All right. I'm going to see if I can make it nice and big for you. Okay, dokie. There we go. All right. So, share screen. Let's go. Give me a thumbs up, guys, when you can see my screen. In the meantime, let me see if I'm healing or if I miss anybody. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think maybe he used that to get to Canada, but really he wasn't gay. Listen, like I said, because I'm sure all of you heard Akeem's live today, because Akeem came live twice, chapter 1 and chapter 2, my love. And when Akeem came on twice, Akeem was breaking down the fact that his friend is hurting, and which I was quite surprised about because them did have a big falling out and passa, but it looked like them men fences. You know, these men, they tend to get over things quite easily. Unlike us women, we keep malice for life. You know what I'm saying? So it's clear that, you know, he was representing Kamar. And when he came on live, he was basically saying exactly what you're saying, that the whole thing was fabricated in order to trick migratory services into believing that they were, in fact, a gay couple, not that one was bisexual, which clearly one was, because there's evidence of discussions of him being involved with females prior to this whole pasa. So on that basis, you know, he's saying that it was some kind of immigration fraud. Now, that is a strong allegation to make. I'm not making that allegation. That was the allegation of that Akeem personality on both his lives today. So we're just going to look at the front end process. When it comes to claimants on the basis of the fact that they have got an experience of homophobia in their original country. So you've got the fact that the application is made either at the port of entry to CBSA or inland to IRCC. So really and truly, that would have been where they did it, because they would have done it on the outside of being in Canada. So then there's a determination of eligibility. In other words, do they meet the criteria? And then the claims then get referred to the Immigration and Refugee Board for determination, okay? They have to provide detailed biographical information, just take a look, as a part of their refugee application. So they have got to provide a detailed biographical file. They've got to detail everything. The fact that they're together, how long they've been together, what difficulties they've experienced, are there any police reports, blah, 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 blah. evidence of whatever abuse or fear or threat to their life they may have encountered as a result of their lifestyle choice, right? Once they have done that, they then need to submit it, right? Okay, so you've got the paper forms in terms of the different forms that they need to fill in, and so on. So let's look at port of entry claims, which is what would have happened for them, not inland claim. Eligibility determined at the port of entry. Common at some land borders, such as Niagara, as well as other POEs for some higher risk or vulnerable claimants, such as unaccompanied minors or detainees, right? Once they're eligible, they've got to complete this form. They get the protection, they get the documents, and so on and so forth. They submit the basis of the claim. They complete a medical in 30 days. They wait for a work permit. That's if they do that, right? If the eligibility is not determined at port of entry, common at some port of entries where one touch is not yet implemented, as well as for some claimants not eligible for one touch. What's been done, received acknowledgement of claim documents. Then they have to complete the IRCC portal, e-app. CBSA provides written instructions. Then they complete a medical in 30 days. Then they have to wait for a work permit, apply for social insurance number with AOC, valid work permit, check email for further examination dates, blah, blah, blah. Deferred examination interview completed. Then they would have received refugee protection claim document, referred to Immigration and Refugee Board, the IRB, and so on. So then the only thing they have left to do is to submit the basis of the claim to IRB in 45 days. Then over here, you have claimant process through the One Touch program. That's common at Quebec's point of entries. Some Ontario point of entries, depending on volumes. So depending on where they enter the country, they would have to go through either of these processes. This is more for low risk. Yes, they've not been detained. They're not deemed vulnerable. For example, unaccompanied minors, no identity concerns. Now, it doesn't matter either way you take it. It's just that one is more rapid than the other. So we've got what's been done. Eligibility has already been confirmed. They've received the protection claim document. Then they refer to the Immigration and Refugee Board. Then they have to submit the basis of the claim in 45 days. Complete that. You know, there's a few things to go through before they finally get that thumbs up. Then they have to wait for the work permit to be mailed. They have to complete their medical in 30 days, apply for social insurance number, and a valid work permit, etc., etc. Okay? So really and truly, they have a whole process to go through, all of which includes having to prove exactly why it is that they are looking to leave their country on the basis of asylum. You understand? Once they have all of this, they are more or less settled. All right, so that is the first step. Now we're gonna go on to the other steps. So now that you've achieved that that asylum, you now have your work permit, you now have your stay in terms of being able to live and work with your social security number. You've done your medical, so they know whatever health status that you have in the country. It's time for you to now work towards achieving your citizenship. Now, this part is the part that really made me wonder, why in God's name did you wait until this moment to come live to show people what a gwan? Why did you do this at this point? But me go show you something. Hold up. Let's share this. All right, wanna see it? To become a Canadian resident, you must, 1, be a permanent resident, 2, have lived in Canada for 3 out of the last 5 years. Did you hear what I said? You have lived in Canada for 3 out of the last 5 years. I hope my screen is not too small and you guys can see everything. Let me see if we can zoom in a little. You would have had to have lived in Canada for 3 out of the last 5 years. Have filed your taxes if you need to. That's, I suppose, if you're self-employed. Prove your language skills. Pass a citizenship test. Take the oath of citizenship. All of those things need to be accomplished. Now, isn't it interesting that all of these revelations are coming out after 3 years of being in Canada? Now, I've got questions. Is it that Omar and Kamar have already gone through this process, have already achieved their citizenship, and are not telling anyone? Is it that, because remember, Omar is a man, him not talk out in business and them not chat everything, Kamar more likely to open up and say certain things. And I think a lot of assumptions are being made by people who are not being told the full 100. It is after 3 years that we are now hearing that Omar and Kamar have split up, that there is a woman in the picture, that there's a pregnancy, that Omar is now trying to go the straight and narrow in order to live his life and live right with Christ, right? But it's 3 years later. Can we assume that he has fulfilled the eligibility, done what he needs to do, and already has acquired his citizenship? Because if not, it would be a very, very silly thing to come out now on a public platform, accessible by immigration, to tell the world that you are no longer under the eligibility criteria of you acquiring your asylum in the country in the first place. You understand? So, once again, you don't automatically become a citizen when you marry a Canadian. If you're the spouse of a Canadian citizen, you must meet the same requirements listed above, right? So, in order for you to get your citizenship, you have to have something called PR status in Canada, as you can see here. Now, I do recall Akeem talking about the PR status. He also mentioned the fact that the PR status often, he has experience of people who have had their PR status revoked before they get to the point of citizenship. Yes, and that it's something that can be easily overturned. But remember the time frame that I've mentioned, that it is 3 out of the 5 years and you're eligible for citizenship. So if they already big up yourself, Kristen in the building, Chris talk. No, maybe permanent resident. Okay. They reach Canada in 2022. Backside, they have permanent residents. I was asking the questions, why, MK? Because this no make no sense to me. So they have not been there for 3 years. Akeem made that assumption that they were there for 3 years. So you're saying that if it's 2024 and they got there in 2022, it's only been 2 years? Then a big mistake I make right, Chester, then. Because honestly, that is why I said to you, graduates, I do not understand the logic. I don't understand why they chose to come public unless all of this was intact. So you're trying to tell me that 2 years of togetherness has separated prior to they landed with the PR. Okay. So that tells me that they have done this for 2 years. So they have not hit the eligibility criteria of 3 years. No, sir. A problem this. A problem this. They cannot undo the fact that the information is all over social media. They cannot undo the fact that they have not reached the time frame. See it there? To become a Canadian citizen, you must have lived in Canada for 3 out of 5 years. Right? So in order for them, and don't forget, there is an additional step for those who are seeking asylum, because their circumstance has to remain the same. So this means, watch now, if you're applying for citizenship, you must have the PR status. YMK is confirmed, they already had it. This means you must not be under review for immigration or fraud reasons. Now look here so. Look here so. You must not be under review for immigration or fraud reasons, and that also includes immigration fraud. Kemar, I wonder if you realize that you have the handle and Omar have the blade. I wonder if you realize that. Him too true. Him head not good for true. And you know, say Omar was my favorite out of the two of them. Me not gonna lie. Omar did trick me. Cause me the thing say Omar was ambitious, him was driven, and the fact that he had so many barriers, learning barriers against it, he never stopped until him get into him cooking job. And I found that something to be admired. But the sense of these actions not matching. Because based on what Akeem said 3 years. No YMK saying it's 2. Then we're not gonna get in a permanent on a citizenship. It is highly likely that you are going to end up with your PR itself being revoked, because people can be very malicious. And now I am hearing that you have removed Kamar from your page and you turn your page from Unstoppable Browns to Mr. and Mrs. Brown. So you're making a public declaration that you and this female are now allies as well as partners, because the Mr. and the Mrs. suggests either marriage or pending marriage. I mean, no, say for a fact, Camera has not been going as no Mrs. and him not go through no transgender change. So you'll be asked by the Canadian officials to leave Canada. Yes. So you must not be asked by Canadian officials to leave Canada. You must not have unfulfilled conditions related to your PR status. For example, medical screening. I would really like to know what the conditions of your PR status would have stipulated, because no doubt it would have stipulated that the reasons for you being in the country must remain consistent. I have pics of their PR card. Mighty God of Daniel, you're there. You have to in the country for 5 years. Well, Maureen, I am on the Canada.ca website. This is not coming from my voice. This is not coming from my head. It says here very clearly, to become a Canadian citizen, let me zoom in some more if in case you're not seeing, you have to have lived in Canada for 3 out of the last 5 years. So clearly there is a way to get it somewhat earlier than completely 5. But let me keep going. Here it is. Time you've lived in Canada, physical presence. You and some minors, if applicable, must have been physically in Canada for at least 1,095 days. That's 3 years during the 5 years before the date you signed your application. All right. During the 5 years before the date you signed your application. So there's a minimum requirement of 3. We encourage you to apply with more than 1,095 days of living in Canada in case there's a problem with the calculation. So they must have wait a little bit longer than 3 years. In your calculation, you may be able to include some of the time you spent in Canada as a temporary resident or protected person, or outside of Canada if you were a Crown servant or family member of a Crown servant. Right. So hold on here. You hit the nail on the head. There you go. So at the end of the day, hold on there. I will go on here so. Let me take a look. Tell me if I need to block anybody, you know. Renshaw. Tell me if I need to block a soul, because I would do it without hesitation. Right. 3 years or 1,095 days. You can become a citizen before 5 years. That's what I thought, Daily Musings. I'm here from 2019, got my citizenship last year. I applied 5 years. So you can wait the 5 years. You can. But you can do it 3 years as well. So if you live in Canada 3 years but travel out of the country, you have to wait to make up the days despite being there 3 years. Bang on. That's it. Because citizen after 2 years of PR because I was here legally as a student. So you're seeing that there are variations within the system. I think he's trying to change the immigration status. Backside. No, sir. But how that gonna work? How is that going to work? It'd be interesting to know in terms of the difference. If you decide, okay, listen, there's always going to be a human rights element to any of this. If you are saying, for example, that you are applying for citizenship on the basis of marriage, and in that marriage you start to experience domestic abuse, the system itself will protect you in order for you to still go through that application process as a citizen, but then prove to the immigration board that your relationship fell apart because of domestic abuse. No. Remember YMK did drop a little clue on him page. Say running after the dog one with weaponry. Don't know the ins and outs of that. But think about it. What if that is the reason why he's trying to change his status to say that, listen, the relationship broke down? Because he would be within his human rights to do so, and that would not deter him having access to the application process for citizenship. It wouldn't. Because say, for example, he wants to claim that that relationship breakdown, that there's evidence of abuse, and that is the reason why him end up with a female. Who is the judge to say anything? Backside. Right, let me see the message that was deleted. Oh, yeah, so good and he thinks he's already been good, but if don't have a good heart, he will be back in, or they may charge him for getting status by false pretense. That is a very serious thing. That is a very serious thing. Mighty God. That is a very serious. Okay, I see the comment now where you delete. No, don't call him no names. Don't call him no names. I just think that it's not well thought through. You understand? But as YMK suggested, it's possible that he's trying to change his status. But there are various reasons under which you can change your status immigration-wise. You can't just look at the people and say that, listen, I am no longer gay. You can't do that. You have to give reasons for the breakdown of your relationship and why it is that you suddenly decided that you were no longer going to be a homosexual. How you could just drop the man who basically supported you through everything and was prepared to marry you. You understand? Guys, I'll find the video when do. You hear the woman trang in the background, you know, and he make on know straight say if any of your comfort is female, in where rub, no, on try leave him woman alone because she better than enough for him a tell no, right? So he's very much protective of this woman. He's not going to allow any abuse of her. All of this protection, which would have originally belonged to Kemar. You know what I find interesting though? I find it really interesting that he is not necessarily considering how Kemar feels throughout this whole process. He's now solely focused on the female. And it's interesting also how this whole thing about God has taken the precedence over what used to be a lifestyle that they said was natural. God is being put forward. It's all about God. It's all about the fact that he's now giving himself over to the Lord. But how you can be giving yourself over to the Lord? You're with this woman, you're not married, and you breed her out of wedlock. That is not a part of the Christian faith. And in itself, from what was alleged to have the woman in the house at the same time as the man that in itself is so disrespectful. It's not showing any level of humility or modesty in terms of your choices. And okay, anybody can left somebody. Anybody can left somebody. You don't have to stick together. There is no rule book that says a relationship have to last. But to break it up under such circumstances, to the point where the man all witness things, and to cast aside somebody who was 100% there only for you, is in itself quite a sad situation. And if you have not thought through your citizenship application, if you haven't already started it, if you haven't already achieved it, how are you going to actually proceed to do this? To say that you are going to change from being gay to being straight because you have found religion, and that your religion is what is going to drive your lifestyle choices now. Okay, I know I'm hearing a lot of humanitarian loopholes, and there's always a humanitarian element to the law. Like I said, domestic abuse is one of them. Certainly, religious factors is another one too. So it is reasonable to say that if he's going to use religion in order to spearhead the humanitarian cause of switching from the clauses under which he's in the country, he has got to portray that publicly as much as possible. He's not going to come out and go on with himself. He not go ahead making head chip. He got everything is God first, God first, God first. What is going to happen then when you now achieve that citizenship? Are we then going to see the real wrath towards the people who are currently running their mouth on your relationship? Remember, the way the story was sold to us, the love story, that was when I started following you guys, the love story that you used to sell to us. The amount of reminiscing and thing. And we're like, oh, look at this gay couple. To think that they can be so loving to each other, man and woman, beat them, one another, kill them. And we're seeing it in a same-sex relationship. For those of us who grew up in a more sheltered way, that was fascinating for us. Right? Especially if you're not homophobic. But then to hear that you're suddenly switching to a heterosexual relationship and you've only been in the country for 2 years, on a city criteria, on a city criteria, and one of which is that there must not be fraud. Now, suppose Kemar was to get angry and decide that he was going to revolt, that he was going to make the call. Kemar would have a lot of ground to stand on to actually ruin you. But because this man is still so in love to the point where he wants to be godfather, my God, what a nice man. People, him nice. Me never know say so Kemar nice. Honestly, me never know say so Kemar nice. He's going to do all of that. Now we have some people out here who are arguing, shouldn't we be happy that we have got somebody who was living a lifestyle of homosexuality, who has now converted, decided he's not only going to be heterosexual, but that he's pursuing his faith in the Lord? Isn't that what's more important, that he's made it right with God? Yeah, it is an important thing. And it is something that ought to be celebrated if it was done in the right context and the right way. The way it was done was actually very messy. Yes? Because when you heard Kemar's speech, it sounded obvious to us that Kemar was neither prepared nor very happy about how things progressed, although he was willing to sacrifice his own happiness in order to support the man. Right? At the end of the day, if that level of, I don't want to use the word deception, because I don't know Omar if he's deceiving. But that switch that take place it is reasonable that people are going to question the authenticity of the decision-making processes and what was portrayed to the public. It is perfectly rational that you're going to say, but if you can just do that, cast aside that person who was there for you, what else are you hiding? Is there anything else that we are going to be learning about down the road? I'm not saying there's anything else. Maybe it is what it is. But as he rightfully said on his page, he has to fight this battle alone because the LGBTQ plus I gotta look at him with a big bombastic side eye like, hello? So the support he would have had there is going to wane. And the heterosexual man, them are gonna say, no, my love. Nobody come over here, so. Because, right? After you, there with man, I want to come there with woman. They're not gonna rate you. So you are going to be isolated, community-wise. Obviously, white people don't care, right? But you know in our community, that is how it's going to happen. So you have got a hell of a battle on your hands. And if you are going to change your status, you are going to be making certain claims. And I genuinely believe that religion is one of them. I believe that religion is one of them. One of them that you have to make publicly obvious that you have made a lifestyle change because you have converted to Christianity. And because Canada is a Christian nation, you're going to add that humanitarian element to anything that you apply for. Right now, if you have not been there for 3 years at least, you have not qualified for citizenship. And if you don't plan to do any of this, it would have to be the grace of God that they don't check your socials. It would have to be the grace of God that they don't check your socials and all these viral videos that are everywhere. No, sir. Less than 2 years as they got their July. Jesus, have mercy. It makes no sense. Our stomachs strap. In better than because it never not happened. Which Godfather? Yes, Steph, the reason why your comments are being deleted is because of names. We don't put names in the comments, right? So Una just let me do it, but don't add nothing else in the comments that might put you in any kind of detrimental situation, because people are expressing their opinions, but sometimes opinions can come across as though you're stating a fact, and then by the time you look, it's a situation of libel and slander. We cannot have that, right? I think he loves him too much to do him that. I think so too. I will always respect a gay and a lesbian. I think the others are confused as if. From the day I knew that boy wasn't gay because of his attitude, Kay, I watched them and I used to type in the comment section that boy love woman and not man to rasta job backside. Very good intuition if that is what you noticed. Very good intuition. And probably that is why Omar was my favorite too. Maybe I picked up on his heterosexual energy. I don't know. Maybe, maybe that's what it was. You understand? But as I said to you guys, I have family members who are gay. I have cousins who are gay. I have, as I said, one of my cousins is actually married to a man. So he chose that entire lifestyle, and from he was a child, we could tell that this was his inclination. He and we were this close, and he used to play with my dolls, plait my hair. We used to play Dolly House, and it wasn't husband and wife. It was wife and wife. You understand? So with him, when he became a man and he was like, he came out and said, listen, I'm this. It did not shock me, surprise me, or anything. And he has never changed his life. He has always been like this. So I think that there needs to be also some kind of responsibility on the part of Kamar. Kamar, this is what I'm going to say to you. When you first met this man, you knew that he was interested in females. There are some gays, and even my own cousin has told me this, who believe in initiating, I don't know if that's the right word, initiating or converting or switching. I don't know. But there are some gay men who believe that they can actually turn a man from women to men. It's not all gays who operate like that, because he made it clear to me that, listen, he despises that kind of behavior, but some men literally target heterosexual men. Some gay men do that. They're the ones that they're interested in. Okay? They're not interested in the flaming queens. They go after heterosexual men. There are some who do this. And if you were aware of the fact that he was interested in females, I don't know if it was a case of when you met him, he was already in a proper relationship with a female and you came along and you made your move and you felt as though you got him over to your side. But I have this horrible saying, and it's not a nice one, that what goes around comes around kind of thing. And really and truly, as a gay man who has no propensity to be with women, avoid male partners who are also interested in females. Just avoid them, because that in itself is leaving yourself open to heartbreak. It is always a possibility that he's going to go back down that route. You understand? Requirement for citizenship has nothing to do with him changing his sexuality. He will meet the requirements by being a PR who has lived in, say, 3 of the 5 years to the date he is applying. Jazz period says, thank you very much for your contribution. Let me just pin this. Let me pin this. Hold on there. Let me pin this. Jazz, can I just ask, do you know this in terms of experience? Have you read this somewhere? I haven't done that research. So remember, guys, this is not my words. This is what somebody in the comments is saying. And if that is the case, then he knows exactly what he's doing then, right? But it also said on that website that there are certain status requirements for PR, that everybody's PR would have some kind of attachments, criteria attached to it. So are you saying that it is not likely that their lifestyle choice remains consistent in order for them to apply? Is it that the PR status would be based on generic things like not getting involved in crime and, making sure that your medical records are up to date and so on and so forth? Just a question. Because if that is the case, then hey, to hell with Kemar then. If that is the case, my partner works in the fields in CA. I do know of this. Thank you so much for the confirmation. So only hear that. Only hear somebody we have access to that information. Okay, so they're confirming that what I've said is correct. Okay, well, they see that there. The man would know where I do, people. The man know where I do. It's not a part of their condition. Them now got investigate it. However, you've got to admit though, Jazz period, you have to admit. What if Kemar decide to execute vengeance? What if Kemar decide? What if the hell hath no fury, like in this case a man scorned, part of him rise up? Una don't think say Kemar can actually make a phone call and cry fraud. Exactly, that's what I'm saying, Carrie. But the PR would have been obtained under false pretense. Exactly, Carrie. But you know what? Which I think that's what Jazz Period is saying. That if it's not actually declared that it was obtained under false pretenses, then hello, they don't know. They're none the wiser. They're none the wiser then. So he can just proceed, do his application, get him things because, he's fulfilled all the other criteria. It could also be the case where as a baby is involved, they could use the family life route as Canada's big on family. Exactly. I did say that there has to be some kind of humanitarian element attached. That's why I said that he couldn't be that stupid by coming out. He must have done some kind of research and have plans. Exactly so. I think is either something already in the pipeline, some application already makes something. Because if Kamar says that he loves him the way he loves him, that he's supporting him the way I'm supporting him, why would he come out at this stage publicly? If he thought that by doing that, it would jeopardize his application. Them no fool. These two young men are not stupid. We've seen that they literally do everything to their advantage. So they are not stupid people. something is up in terms of the application process. Something is up, and we're running around with like blinders on, thinking, hey, I know the time yet. Them now go get the citizenship. And they may very well be laughing at us. You understand? This could be an opportunity to build the platform even more, considering that a baby is en route. The more controversy, the more it will generate attention. Who to tell if Kamar, in the good-natured spirit that he has towards this man, isn't just keeping quiet and allowing him to do what he needs to do to develop that revenue? You don't know. Why would he come out publicly and declare something if processes have not already started taking place or already happened? The fact that the female is pregnant is enough grounds to eliminate the notions of fraud. That eliminates. This looks well researched, like he was coached. Backside. Coached by who? Protege. Coached by who? But the woman has to be careful too with a man who goes both ways. Heart gonna break both ways. Yes, but she get a baby out of it, my love. Monica, yes, but you don't know, so some she get a baby out of it. That is permanent child support, my love. So either way, take it, she win. You stay there. Short man will break his silence. Yes, sir. No, sir. This too much. The fact that the female is pregnant is enough. I want to go back to that comment. Is enough grounds that eliminates the notions of fraud. It doesn't eliminate it. It confirms it, protege. If he's gone and gotten a female pregnant, it confirms that his access into the country was on the basis of fraud, because he said that he was with a man and that he was gay and that he feared for his life because of his homosexuality. So him getting a female pregnant confirms the fraud. It doesn't negate it. You understand? Maybe he has legal counsel. Maybe he does. But we have got to be kind of, just think about it. We know that Kamar loves Omar. We know it. We know that he would be feeling a great sense of loss, disappointment. But he has resigned himself over to the situation and said that he plans to support him no matter what. That in itself is a scenario that lends itself to him getting his citizenship and presents itself as, listen, it's because of his religious choices that the Lord led him there. Why it is that I have accepted that this is now his new lifestyle. So him openly saying that in itself is him going, there is no fraud. He didn't say it outright that this was not something that he expected or whatever. He made it look as though they had discussions that led up to him wanting a child, that made him decide that he was going to follow God's path, and then the girl coming at a picture. That is how him say it. So that pretty speech, way ma talk about how he's going to be there for Omar no matter what and be Godfather, could very well be for the purpose of investigation from immigration. But underneath the surface, those reactions are not natural human reactions emotion-wise. And it just feels as though Kamar is suppressing exactly what is going on. YMK is now saying that listening is to break him silence. And everything I go come out. Cause pressure bust pipe. Eliminate is not the correct word. Maybe he has legal counsel. Okay, confirms. Correct, confirms. Coached by someone who knows the laws. I work in that field. Okay, he has the right to cross floor based on religion. I said it. Did I not say it? He has the right to cross floor based on religion, which is also a safe landing. He was counseled. Mighty God of Daniel, I tell you no people. I tell you no say that. I tell you no say. The way the thing is being done, it's being done very systematically. First, it started with a dream. And the dream is connected to his past mother, who we all know that Omar loved that woman. Then now it go from the dream, the warning from his past mother, the sense of loss and regret, the fact that he feels he was letting his mother's memory down, the fact that he feels like he no longer is living the lifestyle. So it's all a well-packaged story, just a build up, it just a layer nicely. It's layering nicely like a lovely cake from Brixton Cake Shop. Right? So he's layering it, and then no, okay, in order to finish off, the icing on the cake is to get the partner who used to be his potential spouse to come out and actually confer with the situation. So he's going to come out and he's going to say, listen, I was there when he told me about this dream. I know all about this. This was not an act of deception. If the Lord has called him, what can I say? I have to support him. It is a very well packaged story. And in the midst of this is this female. A female who is pregnant and is the key. Now imagine if that female head got chip. Mouth open and Tory jump out. Only no realize, say, that in the midst of all of this woman is the most powerful. Think about it. If they have not in fact achieved their citizenship as yet, remember, it also means Kamara has not achieved his citizenship as yet. That all of this is on the basis that they still need to acquire this. That Kamara is not the one that is saying that he's suddenly turning over a new leaf and becoming a straight-up Christian. Remember, his claim now will be on the basis of the fact that there's a relationship breakdown and there's nothing he can do to stop that. Right? Should he be questioned? Yes? But this female, if she said Pem, it have to be Pem here, because she's the one who can make that phone call and shake up every blasted thing. Me tell you no say, oh, have sense. He might not be book smart, but he's street smart. I flipping agree with you, so I don't know if it's fraud or not, but he knows what he's doing. Jazz says he's cunning. He knew he would be publicly trolled. This will also help his case. Yes, it will. Watch his story as the plot unfolds right in the line of the parameters of the law. Calculated. And listen to me, I see the thing plain as day. It is very, very calculated. It's calculated. It's smart, subtle. Remember me tell you that. But the tall man did prank short man before and said he wants a woman, and the short one was livid. That could just be him testing the waters. You understand? For what was to come. Yes, Gal So Nice, thank you very much for that reminder. No names in the comments, please. No names in the comments. Leave the name calling to myself. We're doing this in a way that makes sure that whatever it is that's alleged stays alleged. You understand what I'm saying? His next move must be marriage to the baby mother. Him got on good glass. So God called him from gay to fornication. And let me not tell you, you're going to hear say, well, marriage is a construct of the law. And once I'm with her, we are married, spiritually tied. What a good movie in the making. May I tell you, it's a lifetime movie to backside. That's a wicked act, though. Ladies, imagine your partner come tell you he's in love with that man. Judge, I feel his pain. Listen, all I'm saying is, okay, we're going to look at it from the two angles. It is likely that, you know, Kemar at some point may break his silence, but the love that Kemar have for Omar, I don't envisage him doing that. I really don't. I see him as the kind of person that will bide his time, because both of them need to get through this process, this legal process. But from what I can see, everything is lining up to religion is the reason why he made the choice that he made. And it's possible that it's true. Guys, come on, we can't be biased here. It may be true. Maybe it's all about the Lord, but even if you're still not really living in a lordly way, I'm just saying, maybe it's all about the Lord. Maybe that's what it is about. Maybe it's faith, maybe it's real. We can't say, but we can definitely say what it looks like to the public. In the court of public opinion, it looks like a well-calculated exit from what would have been a fraudulent situation. It doesn't look as though you were genuinely ever a straight-up gay male and that you always had the propensity to go back to women, considering that that's how you started out in the first place. And that in itself is not surprising, right? So I don't know where she come from. She sound kind of Jamaican, and then me hear the Canadian accent, and it confused me. Because sometimes me can't tell the difference in the Canadian accent and the American accent, excepting if you really, really, really listen. You understand? You have to have them side by side. But is she Jamaican? Guys, is this girl Jamaican? Because I wasn't sure. Somebody said Trini, and I was like, I did not hear that Trini accent at all. None at all. I didn't hear no Trini accent. But when she spoke at one point, I thought she sounds Jamaican. Lord have mercy. I don't want to think that one at all. I'm telling you, this will make some good money off this movie. I teach I tell the story really good. Then I want good story, people. Well, then I say, I mean, all right. If we swap it round as women, our man left with fear man. The way we would have shame. All right. Come here. Then I don't remember say. He's Hannah. I don't tell nobody say me tell you. Remember say. He's Hannah. Go about 21. She come consider she come consider out. Yes. You know information. When I smile, when I first step, the 121. Yes. So she pinched me. Tell me that what? Why? Weird. So towards the end of that year, right? She missing. I'm like, oh, Miss Lisa, what is that? And then my friend now, she pinched me. And tell me, Lisa, they have 121. Get that meat. That's the Panaris man. You want and it man him. She go have. Yes. Yeah, they had something there. You know, we can't hear Miss Ali. You can't hear good. Magic. Oh no, there's a lot of the things so. Missy. She end up at 21. Because she working pan the man. One tapanaris man. I clean the pipe with him out. You know here now? And it mad him. Yes. She had to seek intervention. So we as women cannot handle Such delights. We can't manage it. Them kind of something there are things will blow your mind. Right? But the only thing is that you got to think to yourself, say, boy, I can't feel less of a woman because I can't compete with that. Right? If a man like a man, you cannot compete with it. You can't compete with it. Yes? That's when she was with the PNP match. Shh, Daddy Kush. That be nice. Man, like of dinner. I don't too much things quiet. Shh. Achoo. Yeah, very rewind it. This was well calculated on his part. Just sad. Yeah. Very well calculated if it's a calculation. That's what I'm going to say. If it is a calculation, graduates, it is a very well executed calculation. You understand me? But if it is not a calculation and it's a genuine thing where he's given his life to the Lord and so on and so forth, then we can't knock him for that. But all I'm going to say is he should expect doubt. And people should not expect that everybody should be going, praise the Lord. It's a bizarre scenario. Bizarre as in it is very, very unique. Yes. Or well, I wouldn't say it's unique. It's very out of this world. Okay. Rarely does this happen. And when we've seen it happen in the past, it's happened. And then down low, the men are still doing the do. And it's going to take years of testing the waters for people to be convinced that this is a permanent lifestyle choice. Because, hey, if you can swing again, you can swing back. You understand? If you swing, then you can swing back and so on and so forth. It's best to just simply, accept that you're bisexual. Right? So then it leaves you open for choices, right? And everybody's saying that the girl, our stomach must strong or whatever. Fine. But who to tell if she not bisexual too? You have some people who are pansexual. And when they're pan, anybody can get it. Anybody can get it. Straight up. So you really are dealing with a scenario of people who are quite liberated sexually, and are open to the experience of whatever. He said it on his live today, Omar. There are lots of men who are out there enjoying the back entrance with their women, and it's not that much different. So at the end of the day, if a man can do that with a female, then with a male, hello, it's not impossible, and vice versa. So we just have to remember that while we may have very one-track minds in terms of relationship dynamics, this is not necessarily the case for many people. A lot of people are very open and very experimental and are quite comfortable doing that. I do know, as I've said, of women who have no issue being with a man who is bisexual and goes with both men and women. Yes. And I do know of some women who would gladly convert certain gay men. I'm not calling a name. Certain gay men when they find this life. I'm not calling a name. Lord Jesus. Yes. Then would I convert to know in the blink of an eye. So you stay there. I think Kay might feel extra bad because giving him a baby, and that's something he could not give him. That is a point, that is a point that at the end of the day, in all of this, a child is involved. And who to tell if that child is actually his? That was another allegation that was raised, that it's possible that the child is not yours. You must do your due diligence and make sure that you check if that child is yours. Check if that child is yours. And that is a wise advice, because we have got some women amongst us who, trust me, they will give you the jacket, the trench coat, the woolly coat, the hoodie, the sweatshirts, the cardigan, everything. You understand? So you need to make sure that that kid is actually yours, that you are sacrificing everything for. Maybe they have already. Malay, but live. That's okay. We're about to leave this now. So all the people who are about Omar and Kemar, you guys can go chill, go relax. We're gonna go into this whole thing about the Nigerian prince, right? We're going to leave Omar and Kemar. They'll figure themselves out. And no doubt we are going to be seeing round 3, round 4, round 5 lives. Yes, stuff's going to come out. So we're going to keep an eye on Canada. Yes, for sure. Yo, YMK is the only time, so something going on Canada is when you drop your comment, then, so try keep dropping them so we can pay attention because it's not all the time we get the pings. Yeah. So, the Nigerian prince. We're going to hear the story. You know how I do. Whenever I have got a story, I get the person to send me their voice notes, tell the story themselves. I do the voice changer thing because they want to remain anonymous. And you're going to hear about how wicked some people are. And let me tell you something. If you notice what I've got as my caption behind, when you love blindly, you fail miserably. A lot of the times we pretend as though what we see as red flags don't exist. We ignore the red flags and we just run in blindly. You understand? Right. Now, in this case, the person who reached out to me actually got married to a Nigerian prince. Yes, he's a prince in his village. Yes. There's a one about Nigerian prince, they're about for true, so you have this scammer one, them will love tell people say them a Nigerian prince. This one actually was one. He was from, high-standing family. His parents were politicians, but they were chief and chiefess for their village as well. So you're going to listen to this story, and you're going to hear about exactly what happens when you do not understand the culture that you are getting yourself caught up into. Right. Let's go. Thumbs up if you can hear.
For allowing me the chance to share my story. I am based in London in the UK, and I'm a Jamaican, and I came to London. Basically, I came up on a visitor's visa, and I had a time when I had overstayed and everything and had to fight for my stay. So how I managed to get myself settled was that I got married to get my stay in the country. I got married to a man from Nigeria. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story that a lot of people probably are not aware of in terms of cultural differences between Caribbean people and African people. But even though we're all Black, there is a lot that is not in common. And I would never, ever get involved with another African man after my experience with my husband. I'm not knocking anyone who wants to try it, but for me, it's a no. I'm not doing it ever again. I met my African husband at a party. My friend basically had her birthday party. It was her 30th birthday party. And when we were there at the party, she invited all of her friends. They invited their friends. It was like a big house party. So this guy was amongst these other African guys. And when I saw him from the first time I saw him, I was like, wow, what a handsome Black man. He was tall, dark chocolate, slim, have an athletic body with some nice little bow leg. Him leg them just slightly bent, them kind of leg there. Everything about him was so good looking to me. So I told my friend that I like the guy there. And when I told her, she said, that he's from...
Well, and the people, they look a slight bow leg there, You know what them say about the man them with the leg them slightly bend, my love. So them kind of man there, them have the test the length of swing. Anyway, I behave myself. Go on, listen.
He's from Nigeria. I said to her that I never sure where he was from, but I could tell that he was African. I never thought he was from Nigeria because most of the Nigerian man, them that I see, they're short, have one big belly, a round face, or so. But this guy was like the opposite. So it's the first guy that I meet from Nigeria that let me know that there are different types of Nigerian men. So, he didn't look typical Nigerian. And I don't mean that in a bad way. But obviously, I had certain things in my head because I watch Nollywood. And this was based on what I see on Nollywood, right? So, me and this guy, we hooked up at the party. We start talk, we dance, and me tell you, so the guy could have danced. Guy had a piece of waistline there. Anyway, we enjoy ourselves at the party and we exchange numbers and one thing lead to another. So I got to talking to him and let him know my situation from the get-go because when you have immigration problems, you can't really think about getting too caught up with no man unless he's there to help you out of your situation.
Of course.
But it was more a friendship than it was an arrangement, Kay, because even though this guy was willing to help me because he expressed that in his conversation with me, even though he was willing to help me, it was really about the love that we had for each other. The guy was so romantic. He would literally cook for me all the time, and I was working illegally because me used to just do one little work at our hairdresser shop. Wash people's hair. I used to, do treatments and stuff like that. And the girl in the shop, she's a Jamaican girl, and she used to pay me cash in hand. So that was a big help for me while I was trying to sort out my papers because I'm not entitled to benefits or anything, and I'm not supposed to work.
No.
Anyway, so the guy was very romantic. He used to carry me out all the time. He used to cook for me. We used to go to this club in the Brixton area. We used to go to the club all the time together with his friends. And it was always a vibe with him. Always a vibe with him. So he said to me, that him going to help me out. He doesn't want me to get removed from the country because he loves me that much. And he wants me to stay in the country with him. I said to him that, boy, I've never done this marriage for state business. Now, even though he is Nigerian, he had his stay, he had his citizenship in the country. He told me that he had his citizenship because his mother basically gave birth to him in the country before his mother went back and his father went back to Nigeria. So his parents were still in Nigeria, but left him to be raised by his auntie. So he really considers his aunt to be his mother, right? So the guy was like, I've got my citizenship. I really like you and I want you to stay. So let's just get married. And then we can fight for you to stay in the country on that basis. Now, at the time, it wasn't as difficult as it is now. There was no thing that you had to leave the country, go abroad, go back home, and then you have to come down, they forget you. At that time, it wasn't the case. So it was a great opportunity for me to be able to stay. Because I have nothing to go back to Jamaica too. So I say, you know what, let me just do this. So we just a boom bam beam and is straight at the registrar office. We went and sort out that. We got married at the registrar office with a few of his friends as witness. No big church wedding, nothing like that. It was like straight into the registrar office after we make an appointment, and that was it. So HTK, what the next step was, we got married. We put in the papers and everything for me to get my stay on the basis of marriage. We worked through a lawyer as well. So everything eventually got sorted out. It took a while. So during waiting for the process of getting legal stay in the country, no, his mother decided to visit because she heard that we got married. She was not very happy, okay, because as you know, in the Nigerian culture, marriage is a big thing. They want people to get their blessings
You're
from
right.
the parents, and he never do that. He did not do any blessings thing. He just acted on impulse because the time did run short, and it really was about getting some kind of legal status for myself before they actually decide that they were going to deport me, because I was in the appeal process, but I know that that would not have been successful. So
Hold on. What Nama say? Hold on. What Nama say she would have never be, me no want no other man but Jamaican. Charms World says, Nama, sorry, I don't agree. They seem to be just this, they seem to be just the same. I want to tell you this, you know. Charms World, you just have to keep your mind open in many instances, right? In terms of myself, I have been with African men in the past, 2 from Kenya. But would you go away? Don't get involved in this conversation. They are very different from West Africans. But I still did not feel comfortable with their culture. I've also dated from Italy, from Morocco, but it was an Arab. Still not interested. And at the time, it was about going, well, you know, which culture do I really want to be with? To be honest, I never felt comfortable until I found my Jamaican man. And it really is about keeping yourself open to finding a good Jamaican man. Because I would put them out there junker, you know. I would put them a junker, but you do have some good ones. And the one I ended up with was a good one. But I am telling you now that the Africans that I was with, one was good and one was horrible. But the good one did want to marry me. I mean, I want that because me afraid. So me end up in a Kenya and buck up on 2 or 3 other wife. And the fear of the culture make me run. You understand? So you have good and bad in both cultures, African culture and in the Jamaican culture, good and bad today. As I said, look what happened to Lisa Anna. Anyway, go and listen.
had to basically put in some new conditions for the appeal that I've gotten married to a British citizen. So it was a very complicated process. So she come down now and we go, I would collect her from the airport and I greet her. I'm showing this lady pure love because I want to create a good impression. So the lady come and you could tell she was one of them real traditional Nigerian woman. She come in her African clothes with her hair tie up and everything. He tell me already that his parents are very strict, that they are well respected where they come from because the father is a politician and she is a politician wife. So, you know, say, them never come from poverty back where they came from in Nigeria. So she came and
wow,
when I
that's
look at her at the airport,
isn't that something?
You could tell straight away. Okay, the woman looked me up and down. Up and down. Now, I am a girl. I don't really dress very, what's the word, conservative. I tend to wear very figure-hugging clothes. Because, you know, girl look good and all these things.
Hey!
She look at me and she says, so where are you going dressed like that? I never say anything. I just laugh it off. So we're in the car. We go to the car and he was driving. Straight away, she flying at the front seat. No problem. It's his mother. They haven't seen each other for months. And because he had traveled to Nigeria before, but she hadn't come to England for a long time. I think the last time she was in England was about a year and a half ago. So I go in the back seat. I never have any problem with that. I went in the back seat. So by them times, obviously, we move in together because we have to show that we're cohabiting. So we went to the flat, settled her in the spare room. She straight away started to complain that she don't like the bedding. The bedding is too cheap. She need better bedding because she can't lie down on that. That time me go and buy brand new sheet set and everything, Okay, for facilitate the lady. She start complaining about it right away. She asked for, I don't even know, something like high count Egyptian thread cotton.
Backside.
Okay? We don't know nothing about that. But that is what she said she wants. And she and the man.
You don't hear what the mother said she wants to sleep on. She wants to sleep on high thread count, Egyptian cotton sheets. May I tell you, see somebody is Nigerian, wealthy people or comfortable people. You don't play with them here.
That they are going to go and buy the right bedding straight away. So them gone at the shopping center, gone to get this kind of Egyptian trading cotton. What is only that she can sleep on. I say nothing to strip the bed for them to come with the bedding. So I had already cooked for her and I was waiting for them to come back. So while they're on the road, the son called me. My husband, and said me to warm up the food because they are nearly at the place. They're nearly reach home. I said, no problem. Warm up the food, set the little table, everything. I try to make sure I create a good impression and I'm Jamaican food. I cook curry goat, I cook rice and peas, I make coleslaw. I make all fried chicken.
Wow, she fling down for the mother-in-law.
So she come and she bring the bed in. And I said, Mama, just leave the bedding because I will make the bed for you. She says, no, thank you. I will make my own bed. I never see anything wrong with that. I said, well, maybe she's just a private person or she's a woman who like do her own things in her own space. She was going to be staying with us for about 3 months. No short thing, 3 months. So she come into the dining area, we sit down to eat, and she actually enjoyed the food. Me not gonna lie, she never criticized my cooking. She said, you Jamaican ladies know how to cook. This is nice, the stew is nice. She never call it curry, she call it stew. She said the stew is nice. And I was telling her that is curry goat. And she goes, oh, we eat a lot of goat meat in Nigeria, so, she likes goat meat. She was happy with the food. But at the end of the meal, she looked at her son and she said, well, at least she can cook. I was like, what does she mean by at least she can cook? So it gave me the impression that they were having a discussion.
Money say, well, me here, so the African sausage I go out with a bag of tea. Say, me I go tell you something. People, say, some of the Kenyan tribes, right? You know what them do? When them circumcise, them leave a little piece of the foreskin under the head. And the little piece of the foreskin is like it form one little, like a little knob. And the idea is that it massages the inside of the vaginal wall. Don't ask me how I know.
It's about me, and it never sounded like it was positive. Like, he's not been very open with everything. He just said that they didn't approve of the quick marriage, but he didn't tell me the details. So she said she was tired. She was going to go shower and retire to bed. She said she wants to go and do her prayers because she prays every evening. And so then she turned to me and said, do you have a Bible?
Hey, Bro
So,
Shaka.
you know, say, me no do Bible, me no do church, no Bible never in the house. As far as I know, I said, no, I don't have a Bible. She said, what kind of woman are you? And you don't have a Bible. How do you pray over your household? So the man say, our son say, I have a Bible, mama. I will go and get the Bible. So he got her a Bible. Me never even know say her Bible in the house. But him go get her a Bible and she look me up and down again and gone in the room. Go and do her thing. So I said to my husband, I said, listen, I don't like and he's like, oh, she's just being extra cautious because remember she doesn't know you. So you have to give her a chance to get to know you. She's going to be protective because this is her son. And remember that I am the firstborn. So this is her firstborn son. So for her, the missing out on the wedding is a big insult. She's not happy about it, but she'll get over it.
Yes, Dad, it's a
Right.
hook.
Can we just roll it? No problem. All right, so things and time progress about a week into her being there. We decided that we were going to have a little get together with the African side of his family that are based in London, and some of them are in Birmingham, and I think two came from Manchester. We're all coming over to see her and so on, and to also meet me, because by now, word spread about that he's now married, right? So all of them turn up in the flat, and everybody was having, a good time. We had to cook one whole heap of food. A friend of mine came over and helped me to cook as well. You know, say, for some reason, the mother take a liking to my friend. So my friend is the same lady whose party I went to, where I met him. She take a liking to her, and I noticed her attitude towards her was very nice. She was so pleasant with my friend. Oh, she liked my friend here, because my friend is a Browning. She liked my friend here. She liked my friend's skin. She called her honey skin. She keep talking to him like she does say, don't you like her skin? Don't you like how she's glowing? She's a very nice woman, very pretty. I was like, backside. So, oh, she gets so much niceness and she isn't even
I make
the
sure
wife.
make you feel less.
Them time then, my friend, she's single still, but she have her boyfriend. She not married. So the lady, every time I'm doing something at the table or I'm trying to serve the guests, she complain. How me not put enough meat, put more meat. Then if I put meat, she starts say that is too much meat. Then because she also she did cook too, she cooked some food too. She wanted pounded yam, so she make the pounded yam because she said that them want them traditional food. She parceled up the pounded yam and everything, wrap it up in cling film. So she was serving them the pounded yam, and everybody have a little tray who can fit around the table. But when she go and she eat, because me and my friend, we cook. She wanted more curry goat, we did curry goat. I do fried fish. She want stewed chicken. She said she want to try the Jamaican stewed chicken, so I did that. And we did some beef. We did some brown stew beef. She started to eat. She started to say how the beef bitter. Then the woman said to her son, don't eat the food.
Okay,
So
Norma.
my husband looked at her and said, what do you mean?
Hope
There's
everything will be
nothing
all
wrong with
right.
food, mom. She said this in front of everybody, okay? She said, don't eat the food. She says, there's
Backside.
something wrong with the beef. There's something wrong with the beef. Don't eat it. Then the woman turned to me in front of the whole of the family and friend them were there.
She turned to me and said, if you think you can put Baba on my son and get him to do anything you want, you witch, you will not get away with it.
Jesus.
And she start one holy pa to fiakwa and one holy pa a snapping a finger. And the son was like, Mom, stop it, stop it. She's not done anything to the meat. Everybody's eating it. What are you talking about? And she says, there's
Oh
something wrong
my
with it.
God,
I
Charmed
can
World.
feel
You
it in my bones.
experienced
The
that?
beef tastes bitter. There's
Jesus.
something wrong with the food. She's done something to the food and she's trying to do it to me. That's why my food tastes bitter. So she's trying to get me out of the way she would try to get you out of. Listen, okay? One big something. Suddenly me start see some of the elder one them put on the plate, them now eat them more, they start make sign across. Them start scrape out the food in the bin. People start to leave. I was so upset. So upset. And the woman would not calm down. That is the first
And let me
thing.
tell you something, you know, you see these Africans, they're extremely superstitious, and that is a fact. I had a friend, she was from Rwanda. If I was to say anything to her about Obia voodoo, anything that is like that, she would have get nervous. She believe in them something there. You understand? If me tell her, say, hey, no what they say, no, because Dopey will follow you. Just out a joke. The girl will not walk there because she gonna believe it. And she said, listen to me, kid, don't tell me them something that I'm an African and I'm from a country where black magic is real. She said, if she was to ever tell me some of the things she witnessed from witch doctors down there, I would never believe. You understand? So them very superstitious people.
What she doing? When everybody gone now and I'm just sitting there, me just in a tears. The way me vex, I don't even want to participate in cleaning up. My friend has to do all of it. All of it my friend had to do. Because me just sit down there and cry. Him apologize. She go in her room, lock up herself. Him apologize to me. Him say he's going to talk to his mother, he's going to calm his mother down, he's going to work it out. That is what he's saying to me. Me tell him, say, if this is how your mother is going to treat me, me and her can't stay here. He says, you can't talk about my mother like that because this is my mother you're talking about. You know that she's an old woman. She doesn't understand certain things. Him try to calm me down. Give me one would a hug and kiss and, him a beg on her behalf. So I just say, you know what, for a peaceful life, me go just low this. My friend, she come to me and she said, my girl, I don't know how you're going to manage with that woman in the house, but the two of it not going to work under the same roof. And she go about her business because she never really want to get involved. The next day, the woman come out of her room like nothing ever happened. All of a sudden, she was very pleasant. She tell me good morning. She being really nice. She all made breakfast for all of us. I said, what is this? Oh, she just switched so. Okay. The woman made boiled eggs, some kind of green leaf soup thing which she make with crayfish. I don't even remember what it name. But that she make fried plantain with the way she do the plantain, that is one thing we did really enjoy. She cut up the plantain and she sprinkle it with paprika and chili and one or something. So it have a nice flavor. I try to remember what it named. Oh yes, I remember what it named. No, it named Kelewele. Kelewele. She said that it is originally from Ghana, but she learned how to do it. It was nice. Anyway, so we eat breakfast. She being really pleasant. She being really nice. She shared the food for everybody. And my husband was looking at me like, you see, she coming round, she coming round. He didn't go about his business, he got to work. And okay, a piece of belly ache take me.
when I say a piece of belly ache hit me, all of a sudden my stomach just a cramp, just a cramp, just a cramp. So when me got toilet of pure water come out of my body. I sick, I go hot, I go cold, I vomit. The way me feel sick, me think say me that go dead.
Jesus
And
Christ.
the whole time that they have grown and I make noise, you know, say that woman not once look at me, she go in her room and she lock up. Not once she don't come out and look at me. So after everything passed now, me drink one whole heap of water, me boil ginger tea. I said to her, I go and knock on the door. I say, Mama, you never hear me throwing up, you never hear say me sick. She said, I thought you were okay, that you were handling your business. It was so suspicious. I don't say anything because I felt fine. I recovered very quickly. And it was like nothing had happened. I said to my husband when he come home in the evening, I tell him what happened. And he said, oh, maybe it's one of the spices that his mother brought from Africa did not agree with me because he was fine. After that, I don't really allow her to cook for me again. I just do my own cooking. Even if she cooking, I cook something separate. She found that insulting as well because I was not eating from her. But you know how we Jamaican people stay. If we eat from you and we belly run or we sick, we not touch your food again. So I did not touch her food again.
All right, well, so that part happened. Me, I go try sort out the next part. So if you can imagine, people want to think the woman do to the person. Because really and truly, I don't see how she felt comfortable for eat from that woman. 1 minute the woman a ball out to the world, say, she put something in her food. And then the next minute, you actually are going to eat from a woman like that. It didn't make any sense to me that she would be so trusting. You understand? And I said to myself, but how you fi eat from she? This woman is evil. How you fi eat from a woman like that? You understand? And then she come out the next day all nice. And you really accept that this woman all right in her head? You understand? Nothing more than the woman sprinkle the little sprinkle in the woman food and make her eat it so that she would be sick. Yes? And and then even the mere reaction, the reaction of the lady, tell you say, she did have every intention for sick you. She had every intention for sick you. Why in goodness name would you actually want to stay and eat that woman food is beyond me? That was a big mistake. You know how African people believe in a hobia? You know how them believe in a science and juju? Well, and there, people. Let me just jump to the next part. Well, and there.
She said, I thought you were okay, that you were handling your business. It was so suspicious. I don't say anything because I felt fine. I recovered very quickly. And it was like nothing had happened. I said to my husband when he come home in the evening, I tell him what happened. And he said, oh, maybe it's one of the spices that his mother brought from Africa did not agree with me.
Wait, to trust
because
him,
he was fine. After that, me not really allow her to cook for me again.
Hey, hold on, no. Me I go stop it. So 340 on upon the live. I enjoy the story and trust me, if you don't think so, that is the bad part. It I go get 10 times worse. Me can't press play unless we at least push up the like button. Guys, remember over here, I don't beg on for super chat. You know, hear me a ball out, cash up. All I ask is that you like up the live and bounce up the algorithms. You understand? Liking is free. All you have to do is go press the little thumbs up and like up the life. Please and thanks. And don't make HDK have to beg because God know me think me I work with you tonight. A Friday night and it's festive. And me there so for over 1 hour. Please and thanks. All right.
Just do my own cooking. Even if she cooking, I cook something
Oh,
separate.
and Boo, big up
She
yourself.
thought
Thank
that
you so much for the
insulting as
super
well
chat, my
because I was
darling.
not eating from her. But you know how the
Thank
Jamaican
you.
people stay. If we eat from you and we barely run or we sick, we not touch your food again. So I did not touch her food again. Every day the woman cuss and complain to the man that I'm not eating from her. I tell him that I don't
She
like
want
her
gradually
spices. Her
pies for you.
spices don't agree with my stomach. So eventually she kind of calmed down after that. But the attitude, it turned up times 10. Next thing she start to say to me how many children I want to have because she wants her grandbabies. And we need to start working on children right away. So I was like, oh, what is this lady? Me not ready for no picnics. She said he's her firstborn son and she wants him to bring boys.
Thank you, Bert,
She wants him
for
to
the
bring
super
boys.
chat. That
And
is it. So big up
the
yourself.
father's name must live on and all of them kind of things. So I said, Mama, I will get pregnant. We will get pregnant later on. Right now, we only just married. She said, no, is the time. No, is the time. So she started to put pressure on him and me, saying that we must try for a baby. She wants to feel her grandchild. She wants to leave knowing that I am pregnant. Okay? I tell the woman that I want to get myself settled in the country first before any kind of family planning can go on. She has said she no business about no state.
No,
If
Elaine.
anything, I can come to Africa. And I'm like, I don't want to go to Nigeria at all. I don't want to go to no Nigeria. I want to stay here in England. That is the whole purpose of this.
But one thing doing a lady, you can't be with an African man and say that you don't want to go to his country of origin. This is always a possibility, especially like how you go pick up one Nigerian prince, or actual Tapanaris Nigerian. If the man father say, listen, we need you to come and run things in the kingdom, the man have to boogie and you have to be prepared to go with him. This is another thing that we need to realize, that some of these people have very deeply entrenched traditions that cannot be dropped just like that. You can't get caught up in a Jamaican-ness and say, listen, me not go to no African country, right? You have to be willing and you have to be open. So that in itself will go make her hate you.
All right. So those were the things, but it got worse. One day, when they are shop, I pick up things in the market. She give me one big list of things I need to pick up. I go all about the market, I buy things we bring back in the house. My husband is at home with his mother. I was out for about an hour and a bit. By the time I got to the last of the shopping, my money run out because me never bring my purse. I forgot. I only had cash. I carried cash on me because me as a girl, I prefer cash to any. And I thought I had my card in my back pocket, but I didn't have my card in the back pocket. And obviously I didn't have my purse. So I say, you know what, let me just go back to the house. Now the market is not very far from the house. It's actually about a 10-minute walk. So me have one with a bag and I said, do I take a taxi or do I just walk? And I said, sure, it's a nice day. I'm gonna walk. Walk home, get to the door, ring the doorbell. The man come. He said, oh, you come back quick. Usually when you go to market, you take 2 hours. Because I do tend to stop at some friends. Me have a friend that is in the market that I sometimes do work for her as well. And she pay me cash in hand, right? And more than one shop me did operate at. So I said, no, I'm gonna leave my purse and I needed my car to go cash point to get more cash. I wasn't even going to take a taxi. I said, I never want to put no pressure upon him for pay because I don't know if you had cash on you. Him said, okay, come in. We're going in help with the bag them and so. When I go in,
of course, the first red flag is the fact that he might look by you like you're surprised, so you reach back at the yard so quick. And him say you usually there a market 2 hours and so because he knows so you stop and chat with your friend. So that in itself should have put your back up as you come through the door.
There is this lady in the living room with the mother sit down like them I have drinks. When me see the girl came, the girl dressed up like say she dey on date. So I said, hello, I introduced myself as his wife. The girl gave me a very cool hello. The mother said, oh, this is so-and-so. She's also from Nigeria. She's from our village. So I'm like, oh, okay. The mother tell me, said this girl and our son was betrothed to be married from them a baby.
Jesus Christ. Sorry to call the Lord name in vain, but it's not in vain. So you see, there's something, yeah? You're trying to tell me, say, baby, I get promised to them one another for married in this culture. Baby.
They were supposed to get married. And that the girl traveled all the way down from Birmingham to come and see the man because she's upset because she heard about this marriage. And we all need to sit down and have a discussion. I said, what do you write in this? I said, but what is this, Mama? Or if you bring other woman into most of the time, you know, the Jamaican that start fly out. Come and say this woman must lick her backside head. How she for bring next woman in the house and me to tell me say that them did betrothed. Whatever the hell, like them married, them supposed to marry. From them a baby. Them promised to each other. And she said, yes, her family and our family are very close. And this is one of the reasons why she's upset about the marriage.
No, Birmingham,
so
UK.
She's now coming here because this is her husband's house too.
Backside.
Okay. The woman I look at me and tell me say the woman is moving into the house. So I'm looking at my husband. This whole time the man head hang down.
All right.
He just say one word. So I start cussing and going bad. Right? I say, what the hell is this? Oh, you have to bring in next woman into the house with me. Yes. And I say, she can't stay here. She put her head down. Me and her go fight.
It sounds so but a real thing.
I said, fight who? If you think that running belly that you had, that diarrhea that you had was anything, if you touch a hair on her head, it will be the last time you lift your hands.
Backside, don't you hear that? Confession to us. The mother say, if you raise a hand and put a hand on this girl head, at the last time your hand go raise, if you think said the diarrhea what you did have when you eat the food was nothing, you're going to live for sister, lift your hand again. That is a serious threat, Huh? This is a serious threat. Bro Shaka, let me tell you something. It's not no script for no movie. The girl, listen, anything, you see any of these stories that I get people to send me photos as proof. She sent me picture of the man, the mother. She sent me picture of them in the flat and everything. She sent me picture of them. Me know say a real thing where took in place. You understand? Yes. She sent me all picture of the marriage certificate with the man named Penny and fair named Penny and the registrar office. Can me tell her, I said, me not tell the story when I go so. A real thing. That's what the mother tell her, say she can't touch the girl because she would do her worse.
Case at that point, we realized that the woman poisoned me. The woman poisoned me. The way I'm angry, I just pure tears was coming down my face. I get in such a temper, me all start breathe short. So I go in the room and I just a ball and I call my friend and I tell my friend for come get me because I can't stay in the house with this brother and this woman and this girl. We claim for say, and say, when me a come out with my friend come to forget me, them sit down in the living room the whole time, my husband never once come to me to try to console me, kid. Never once come to make me feel comfortable.
In business video, in picture reach.
So I'm going to the door to go and get my friend. When I look at the door, one holy suitcase with the girl move in at the place with the man.
Let me tell you something. You see, these kind of arranged marriages that take place, it is often about joining together two families' resources. You're going to end up with a case of this was an agreement from your parents or your parents' parents. And it was about joining wealth. And him know that if him turn down this woman, it is going to deeply affect his family life. So him can't say no. Tell them something, yeah.
So my friend come in and say, what is going on? And I tell her what go on and so. He remember say me not have no leg for stand on. Me stay dependent on the paperwork going through that we married. This is his place near Kachina more or less.
Now listen to the
Him
rub
a
now.
put in woman on me. Me for stay in the house and cohabit with another woman and him. So when me tell my friend that she said, come, let's go. I stayed out of the house. Him a call me. Me not answer. Him a call me. Him a beg for forgiveness. Him saying this is traditional. There is nothing that he can do. This is the woman that everybody prefer. He is not sleeping with her. Him stay in a separate room. She and the mother stay in the guest room. Them don't stay in the same room. He's trying to convince me over the phone by peer voice note coming and talk to him, you know, the way my mad. We just go and do my like a hairdressing thing and me stay in my friend's house. And him keep calling me so till him get fed up and turn up at the hairdresser. This is about 3 days after my move out. Him said to me, say, listen, she's not going to get between the two of us. And I must come home. I must say, you really expect me to come in at the house with the next one? And your mother? I said, no, she has to come out. She has to come out. He said, all right, he's going to go talk to his mother. He's going to go talk to the girl. And them have to go make another arrangement. Because he's not willing to use me. Because even though this girl, she also have our British citizenship people. So she never need nothing from him in that respect. Remember, say I'm me, I hold the blade and him I hold the handle.
Listen to what the man never do.
After he went home and obviously spoke to his mother and the girl. The night him called me, you know, one piece of temper. The man start cussing, him switch it round for me. He tell me straight, say anyhow, I don't find back my work, but sit, not sit. Back at the house. Him now put him to stop the paperwork in its tracks. Jesus. And I will have to go back to eat shit in Jamaica. That the man tell me that I will have to go back to Jamaica to eat shit. The way me see the man get away, me start get nervous and I say to my friend, say, me have to go use my head. The friend said, just try squeeze her out, make her uncomfortable. So that she leave and fight for the man. Because you don't want your paperwork get messed up.
You see how the man have her?
That's good advice. But I go back. When I go back into the house, the girl not in no guest bedroom. The girl move in the room with the man. Me turn up there the next day. I turned up at about lunchtime. Because me never tell him what time I turning up. When I turn up lunchtime, push key, go in, because I had my key. Push key, go in. Now the girl that me see I come out and I stretch. I come out of him room and I him that behind him. Him look frightened and surprised. My sister, is this you tell me if I come back for? Oh, she was just getting something from the room. I say, girl, just I get something from the room and look like say she just don't take something. And then they are stretch the way she tired. Come and she greet me. They put one piece of singing in the kitchen.
Yeah, the mother sing.
She was very happy. She just did it. They put one piece of singing. I tell him, say, listen, make sure say she's not in the room because this is my rightful place. Of course, it looked like, say, she go back in the room with the mother.
Let me tell you something, lady. You see, at that point, you're supposed to, yes, you're Jamaican, man. You know how the thing set. You're supposed to know, so them must did a do something. In the 3 day where you take away yourself, you leave your relationship open for the mother for work or magic. The mother would have make sure said that that girl got in that man bed. She would have make sure she would have said, hey, daughter, just wait until he is nearly asleep. Then go into his room. And when you go into his room, just make sure that you are wearing that nice negligee. And make sure that he is seeing all of the cheeks. And make sure when you go into that bed, he is already tired. You start to rub up his body. You put your body on his body. And you know that he is going to say, yes, now, my sister, my daughter, you know you have what it takes. And that one. And that one. He said, hey, I know my son. He cannot say no. He cannot refuse it. He's his father's child. He's his father's son now. And if I know the father, I know the son. And the 3 day where you're there out, one heap of things going in at that. You know, say you want your papers. You don't force the situation. You just go on in and say, it's okay. I will sleep on the couch. You're not lucky. Anyway.
So, but she not give me a fight. Me I expect a fight. She not give me a fight. She barely talk to me. She just do her thing and go in the room with the mother. The two of them spend the whole of them time locked up in there, or them go shop together, or them go visit relative together. Everything them do together. I say maybe because I just have bide my time for my paperwork for come through. Just have bide my time. I'm not going to lie during that time, I'm not giving no front. Lock up shop.
All right, at least.
The stomach did turn off, everything did turn off.
Good.
And he was not pressuring me, but of course, Kate, there was a good reason for that. Every time me go out, the girl go in. You hear? If him not there work, the girl go in. Anytime me there work, cause he mostly work nights, I work days. So
remember the Valencia, she needs our paperwork. Big up yourself, Marcia. Thank you so much for the super chat. She needs her paperwork. So all she's thinking is that she don't want it to be exposed that it was a marriage so that she could get her stay. Even though they had a relationship, him could twist it to say, listen, that is what it was. But that poor woman is not even thinking that he wouldn't dare to confess that, because that would constitute fraud, immigration fraud. Nobody can hold that over your head. Because not only does the British government punish the people in terms of the ones trying to marry for stay, but they also punish the British citizen who executes the marriage and allows it. He would have been fined a lot of money or prison time. So he couldn't talk it. But she obviously never know that at the time.
When me work and me come home in the evening, there's a bit of a crossover of time. So sometimes I come, he's not there. He's already gone to work, right? So that means he would have been there at times when me not there. So them have time to do them meeting up. How me know that this was going on was one day we there at the house. And okay, one day we there at the house. And the girl in the bathroom of vomit. The mother, she didn't stop fuss over her. She vomit, and you could hear the mother say, oh, she going to make some tea for her.
Yellow vomit.
And I treat her like one princess, you know. Okay. I treat her like princess. I say, look how when this woman did that poison me. Because she want me sick, she never even look in my direction. So, me now, I wonder what take place with this vomiting. Because it becoming now an everyday occurrence. This vomiting. This is about the second month all of this are going, you know. Okay. One day I go use the toilet. And when we look on top of the toilet, there was a pregnancy test.
Deliberately
It was
put
not
that.
a new pregnancy test, it was a used one. Carefully placed on the top of the toilet with 2 lines. You know, say 2 lines mean pregnant. When my husband come in, me vex with the whole day, me even go to work, the way me feel sick in my stomach, me just lock up in my room. Them day I have fun in the house, one piece of enjoyment. Because clearly it was good news. The mother get what she wants. The girl breed for the man. Me I realize that the man obviously was busy working her. And me never even surprised coming in. I give him no front. So when the man come home in the evening, I say, listen, I want to have a meeting with you and everybody. So everybody in the living room. And I say, I know what is going on. I can tell that from the pregnancy test that this girl is not pregnant for you.
Yep.
The man don't say nothing, hold on his head again. Because this is him style, you know, he's not very confrontational. The mother, she just said, she just depend, God be praised.
You're there.
God be praised.
You're there.
Appear that she is saying, the girl, she just quiet. She don't say nothing. And one thing I must say, them reaction is very different to Jamaicans. You know how
No charm, I feel
we
pity.
up and go on with ourselves, them not go do all of them something there because them know that them have the power. So I look at him and I say, please, I don't want to live in this mess anymore. Just let me go stay with my friend. All I ask is that you just let my paperwork come through. I collect my mail from here, right? And we just do the thing, do the interview like all is well. That is all I ask. The mother said, if you want that, you have to pay my son.
You're there.
So any money that you make, you have to bring half and give to my son.
Jesus.
We never ever argue, Key. Because at the end of the day, me just look on it like say, you know what? Me I pay for my stay. In the end, that's exactly what I did. And after 3 months, the mother gone back. I was still at my friend. Girl the day in there with big belly, well, belly I grew. Then my paperwork came through. We had an interview. We go on like say, we know, you know, we loving, we married, everything. And I got my citizenship approved. So the paperwork came to the house. This was another, 2 months or so after that. You get a certificate of citizenship first. Then you have to go to a swearing-in ceremony. We do all of that together. All of that pretending that we were together, but we're not together. And I stayed with my friend. God bless that girl. She never once betrayed me. Sometimes them say good friend better than pocket money, but me really know what that means.
One thing is for certain, though, you know. One thing is for certain, though, you know, people. She's very lucky because many people, in order for them to get to their citizenship state, they have to have been, they have to have indefinite leave and so on. But when she was telling me that, that was one of the questions I had, but I did the research and it's because she had been in the country for a long period of time. She was in the country legal, you know. And a little bit of time she did in a country without papers. So when she in the country for that long period of time and then she go get married now, it looked like they counted that time. And then the lawyer was able to get her to surpass all of that in order to go straight for citizenship. So she was very lucky. And then also, apparently, what she showed me in the paperwork was that they used the Nigerian man's royalty as well. That it would be considered a democratic problem if it goes back to his nation that he has married somebody that's illegal. So when me telling us, say some of these people have some pull because of political relationships between the country, it's no joke. It does happen. Anyway, make we go on.
Stay, even the woman still together, you know. And on paper, me and him still married. But we sorting out a divorce now because him go to Nigeria, he said to me, and he has already done the traditional marriage back in Nigeria. So they are living as husband and wife, and that is fine in the eyes of where they come from. But they have to do the legal process. So we are now going through the divorce filing procedure. All I'm saying, Kay, is without a knowledge of cultural differences, sometimes we walk into these things blind. And there was nothing I could do. And that the mother there, she would have killed me. Anyhow, me did stay in the way.
Jesus.
One thing we never see, and I'm surprised because the way me watch Nollywood, I was expecting Baba or Juju as well for the in the house. But no, she never really into that. So I never see any evidence anyway of that happening. But yep, that is my story. I would really like to hear what the graduates them have to say. I will be in the comments, quiet, but listening. Big up yourself, HTK.
No, sir. Mighty God of Daniel. Graduates, what do you have to say? Ah, no. I was not about to tell people it's my birthday tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat. Sis, have a drink on me. Love you. I will have a drink on you. Thank you so much. That was very, very sweet of you to do something like that. Yes, people. Tomorrow my birthday. Tomorrow is my actual born day. Okay, Earth Strong, thank you so much. Yes, it will be my birthday tomorrow, and I'm not going to come live tomorrow because I am going to be celebrating with my husband. And we're going to celebrate right up until the middle of next week. Yes, Taurus, baby. I'm going to be, I'm not telling a major lie. I'm going to be 47 tomorrow. Yeah. I've accepted my age. I'm quite happy with my age. I still have a glow, so it's all good. So yes, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I appreciate all you guys. What a very fascinating, riveting story. And there is so much to learn from both the situations with the Browns and what has happened with this Nigerian prince. It's really important that we know exactly what we're getting ourselves into when we decide that we are going to tie the knot with people. When we decide that we're going to live a lifetime with people, it is not an easy decision. And sometimes when we run into things blindly, we suffer miserably. Sometimes when we put our blinders on and pretend as though we don't see the red flags, things can get out of hand. Thank you so much, Black P, for the super chat. I appreciate all you guys. Oh my God, you guys are spoiling me. That was one story indeed. And what we can say is that sometimes immigration issues can make people make some drastic decisions. Because we're not aware of the fact that we are protected by the law from exploitation. And because we're afraid to open our mouths and say, listen, it was a part of the arrangement that we get married so I could get my stay. You don't want to do that because you're thinking, I tried to do something that probably would be frowned upon. But if you can prove that you had a relationship, you have lots to stand on. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the birthday wishes. God bless you all, graduates. Thank you for sticking with me for hours tonight. This was a long festive Friday show now. Big up yourself. Oh God, thank you. Lord Jesus, super chat for this. Thank you, Linda G. Bless for the super chat. She lucky to be alive. You better believe it. And so the mother was insisting on feeding her all the time because the mother was gradually building up the poison. And that did not happen. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Janet Galloway. Happiest birthday, HDK. Enough respect and many more years ahead. Thank you so much. You don't look your age. Oh, God bless you, Island Breeze. I appreciate you, right? So, yes, research. Don't run into marriage, okay? Rochelle, thank you so much for the super chat. Happy birthday when it comes. Oh, my graduates, you are the sweetest. Thank you so much. I really appreciate every single one of you. All right. So, Jacqueline, thank you for the super chat. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Like up the live, guys. Look how many of you are on here. 412. Like up the live before you exit. I really hope you enjoyed the content tonight. I always seek to entertain and to inform. This is your girl, Head Teacher K. Big up on a nice, clean self. All right. Big up on a nice, clean self. All right. God bless. Good night. And Boo said, don't go yet. More super chat coming. No, easy. Oh, God, guys. Just like up the live. Honestly, me never come on for all of that. Pick up yourself. Pick up yourself. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Bye.